Hello, everyone. My name is Colton Duncan, and I am a member of the Space Team's Professional Core Software Development Team. And today in this video, I am going to be showing you how to use our in-sim editing tools to create new sims, add entities to existing sims, and also to save different sims. So to get started, we're going to take a look at this top menu, which contains all of the necessary tools that we're going to be looking at today. So the first one is New Sim. If you click this, it will bring up a menu for you that you can check out to start. It helps you set up a new sim if you want to do that. So the first option is your pawn type, which is default set to spectator. You can also choose from surface walking and orbit camera. You can think of your pawn type as the type of movement that your character will do inside of the sim, or just kind of what your character type would be in the sim. So spectator is just kind of like a floating head. Surface walking is if you want to be a person that is actually walking on the surface of whatever celestial body that you're interacting with. And then orbit camera is good for a situation similar to this where we are kind of floating around in orbit around some planet. You can select which entity you would like to move and their resident frame. So spectator one, which is currently my pawn, and resident frame is Earth because we are around the Earth right now. You can also set your coordinates so for your position, and so you can select between Cartesian, which is your standard X, Y, and Z coordinates. You can also do Keplerian, which is orbital elements, and you also have access to latitude, longitude, and altitude coordinates, which is good for doing any kind of work in orbit around whatever celestial body you want to be working with. We also offer changing your rotation type, so and also your rotation, so you can change your yaw, pitch, and roll as you want to, and then also you can change your starting time scale. So your time scale is kind of the how fast the flow of time will be occurring in your sim. So if you want time to be going twice as fast, you would hit 2. If you want to be going 10 times as fast, you would enter 10. And if you want to go half as fast, you would do 0.5, and so on. So this sim is already set up, so we don't actually want to do a new sim. So I instead will show you a few of our different tools. We have our planet GPS, which is useful for just displaying your latitude, longitude, and altitude of wherever your pawn is. And so my pawn right now is at latitude 0, longitude 180, and altitude of this many meters. And you can see that it looks about right because we're pretty far up above the surface of the Earth. So that is just a useful tool for getting a bearing of where you are actually at in relation to your sim. So we are then going to look at the add entities. What if I want to add new entities to my simulation? Well, you click add entity and it'll bring up this menu that will show all of the entities that you currently have access to. I'm going to add in a excavation rover. So it spawns behind me. I'm going to back up from it a little bit. And then I'm going to add in, see, this VRIK skeleton, which is a model of an astronaut. There we go. So you can see I have our astronaut here and their little rover that they're partnered with. So we can close our add entity. And if you look in our sim outliner, which displays all of the pawns and entities that currently exist inside of your sim, you can see that we have spectator one, which is me right now as this camera, and all of our entities listed. And if we scroll all the way down, we can see we have our astronaut and our excavation rover that we just added into the sim. We also offer the ability to change their location and rotation. So you would to do that, you would open up your transform selected menu. which pops up this little movable menu. You have entity to move, so you click to select. I want to move the astronaut resident frame. We could say we want to move them in relation to our excavation rover, and then it would give you, let's actually move them in relation to, so we want to move our astronaut in relation to the Earth. And you see, we have our coordinates with respect to the Earth. We can change to actually longitude, altitude, and it'll give you these values and the relative rotation of our astronaut. And you can change these values as you want to change its position and rotation inside of this. And so what if I'm happy with my sim as is and I would like to save it? So you go over to this button, the save button, you hit it, and the file path that it will save to should default to something like this, where it's inside of app data local sim dynamics. Let's give it a file name. Let's call this test. You hit saved, and you should get the save button should turn green and tell you that it did indeed save. And so then if you go and look inside of this folder, you will see a simconfig file that has all of the needed information to recreate the sim if you want to come back and revisit it. So that is a very quick overview of our sim editing tools for Space Teams Professional. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.